Once again, the James Webb Space Telescope is shocking us with a new discovery, but this time it's not about a galaxy, an exoplanet or a star. It's about Mars. It's the first time James Webb sent us information about Mars, and you won't believe what discoveries JWST has made and what secrets it revealed so far. Let's deep dive into the topic and not waste any more seconds. The James Webb Telescope sent us the first images of the planet Mars, and we can see its surface features and possibly hint at its chemistry. This was possible thanks to James Webb's NearCam instrument. The NearCam, or near-infrared camera, is Webb's primary imager that is covering the infrared wavelength range 0.6 to 5 microns. The NearCam instrument is able to detect light from the furthest places of our universe, such as the earliest stars and galaxies that are in the process of formation. It is composed of coronagraphs, which are instruments that astronomers use in order to take pictures of very faint objects that are around an extremely bright object, such as exoplanets that are orbiting their own stars, exactly like Proxima b. The coronagraphs work by stopping the brighter light of an object, so it can make it possible to capture views of the dimmer object that is nearby, exactly as we try to focus on an object that is in front of us by blocking the sun with our hand. The NearCam is expected to determine multiple characteristics of other planets, and it does an incredibly good job. JWST captured its first images of Mars on the 5th of September, making it possible for astronomers and scientists to study its surface properties. The most remarkable image is the one with the planet's sunlit side, because it allows astronomers to receive data that could be used together with NASA's Perseverance rover's observations made so far. We can see the incredible resolution. We have the diffraction limit of a space telescope in the infrared, which is fantastic. We can see the whole planet, Giuliano Lusi stated, a remarkable NASA researcher. The James Webb Telescope was also able to take pictures and spectra so astronomers could study different phenomena such as the weather on Mars, dust storms, and changes that are caused by the planet's seasons. Just imagine how the greatest astronomers of the past would react to the new Mars images, astronomers like the great Mars observers Christian Huygens and Percival Lowell. However, the discoveries don't stop here. This is probably the most terrifying discovery on Mars, according to Lusi and his team of researchers. After a deep session of analyzing the images and data, they noticed that a 1200-mile wide crater called Hellas Planitia seems to appear darker than its surroundings. "We were seeing something very bright, but it got darker," Lusi said, but according to him, the crater doesn't have any thermal influence. The only possible solution for this is the result of light that is entering through the Martian atmosphere and being absorbed by carbon dioxide. These new images captured by JWST prove the success of using a technique called spectroscopy, a method that is able to study the fingerprints that chemical elements leave in the light and finally determine the planet's composition. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun, and while it's close to Earth compared to the other planets, it is far different from it. We can notice differences in the speed of orbiting the Sun, diameter, length of a day, temperature, gravity, and atmosphere. For instance, Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos, and they don't even look like our moon, as they are irregular in shape and they are much smaller than Earth's moon. As you probably already know, compared to Earth, Mars is much smaller in size, having a diameter of 4,220 miles, and if on Earth you weigh 100 pounds, on Mars you would weigh only 38 pounds, due to the fact that Mars has less gravity than Earth. Temperature could be a problem, since the average distance from the Sun to the orbit path of Mars is longer, being 229 million kilometers, resulting in an average temperature of minus 81 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 62 degrees Celsius. There is also a huge difference between both planets' atmospheres, and at the moment it would be impossible to live on Mars without special suits, but Elon Musk has big plans when it comes to the red planet. There is a total lack of oxygen, essential not just to sustain human and animal life, but also to allow for a return to Earth. To that end, scientists have been racing to develop methods of extracting oxygen from Mars's resources in order to produce enough rocket propellant to launch an ascent vehicle into orbit and return astronauts home. This would save scientists from having to send hundreds of tons of material from Earth to Mars at a high cost to transport the required oxygen. NASA has been converting carbon dioxide from the Martian atmosphere into oxygen through a toaster-sized device embedded inside the Perseverance rover, which landed in 2021, in collaboration with MOXIE, an MIT-led experiment. To get to the point where the planet could support a human-staffed science base, a full-scale oxygen production plant with a continuous power source would be required, while the paper suggested that a MOXIE-like system, scaled up several hundred times, could produce 3 kilos of oxygen per hour, enough to launch an ascent vehicle in 26 months. Astronomers obtained results show us different appearances that are related to the red planet's composition. For example, information about the Martian dust, icy clouds, the elements composing the atmosphere, and even type of rocks that can be found on the surface of Mars. But the searching doesn't stop here, as the James Webb Telescope should be able to detect the presence of water, carbon dioxide, and other chemical compounds. There's a debate going on concerning the existence of methane on Mars, as NASA's Curiosity rover has perceived the presence of methane multiple times, but the TGO, or ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter measurements, haven't been confirmed. However, Lucy tends to believe that there is indeed presence of methane in the air particles, as it is really important because scientists can investigate further if there is biological activity in the planet's history. Thanks to the James Webb Telescope, we can finally put all the pieces together, answering the many questions about Mars. At the moment, the JWST team is currently writing a paper to present these findings to peer review. There are high chances for the astronomers to rewrite their understandings about Mars and change everything that we know about it. But this can only lead us to the conclusion that we are getting closer and closer to every astronomer's dream to place foot on the red planet and potentially colonizing it in the next decade. Speaking of colonizing Mars, the Artemis missions will be our first stepping stone to one of the most awaited missions in astronomy's history, first humans on the red planet. The Artemis program is a moon exploration program that is led by NASA in collaboration with ESA, JAXA, and CSA. The program's main goal is to set up a permanent base camp on the moon and ease the future missions to Mars. The program has a total of 3 missions, each one having a different goal. The Artemis missions are mainly focused on lunar exploration, but the long-term goal would be to use the same technology and research in order to launch a mission to Mars. I honestly can't wait to see the results and what they plan to do in the near future, and I think we can all agree that we probably live in the most amazing times of humanity's history. Until the next time, thank you for watching and let us know in the comments when do you think Mars will become a habitable planet for humans.